Chapter 11. Gun Control Policy and Evaluation. The evaluation of gun control policy is one of the central tasks of firearms research, and the honest summary is nuanced. Some specific policies have evidence supporting effectiveness for specific outcomes. Others do not. The pattern fits neither the claim that gun control reliably works, nor the claim that it is uniformly useless. Credible evaluation starts with method. A good study states its identification strategy, examines pre-treatment trends, reports robustness across specifications, addresses confounders, and reports uncertainty honestly. The RAND Corporation synthesis applies consistent standards across policies, classifying evidence as supportive, moderate, limited, or inconclusive. It is the most accessible recent overview and a useful organizing tool, though its classifications involve judgment calls and should be read as provisional. Take the policies in turn. Background checks through the federal NICS system have processed over 500 million transactions with a denial rate of about 1%. But evaluations of the federal system's introduction found small aggregate effects, partly because it supplemented existing state requirements. State expansions to private sales show mixed evidence. Permit-to-purchase licensing rests on unusually informative natural experiments. The Connecticut adoption is associated with reductions of 28 to 40%, and the Missouri repeal with increases of 25 to 47%. The same policy moved in opposite directions. It operates through several mechanisms at once: rigorous screening, a delay between application and acquisition, and the signaling of social expectations. Right to carry laws point the other way. The most demanding work finds modest increases in violent crime, and RAND rates the evidence that shall issue licensing increases homicide and violent crime as supportive, its highest category. Permitless carry is too recent for firm conclusions, though early evidence resembles the shall issue findings. Assault weapons bans and magazine restrictions are best judged by mass shooting casualties rather than aggregate homicide. The 1994 federal ban had limited effects on overall homicide, but more substantial effects on the casualty counts of mass shootings, consistent with the lethality of covered features. Critics note that some feature-based definitions target cosmetic characteristics rather than lethality. Stand your ground laws are associated with increases in firearm homicide on the order of 8 to 11%. Along with justifiable homicide rulings markedly more likely when the shooter is white and the victim black. Waiting periods show moderate evidence of reducing firearm suicide. Extreme risk protection orders show clearer effects for the individuals subject to them than at the aggregate level, with implementation quality mattering enormously, since utilization varies by an order of magnitude across states with similar laws. Child access prevention laws carry RAND's highest classification, supportive evidence for reducing self-inflicted firearm injury among youth. And U.S. buyback programs show limited effects because of their small scale, in contrast to the larger Australian reform. The synthesis, then, identifies a tier of strongest evidence: child access, prevention laws, and minimum age purchase requirements. A tier below holds permit-to-purchase licensing and extreme risk protection orders. A tier of mixed evidence includes background check expansion, waiting periods, and weapon-specific restrictions. And several policies, including permitless carry, simply lack sufficient evidence. The translation from these findings to political action involves value disagreements that the empirical literature alone cannot resolve. Your task is to know which tier a policy falls into and to hold confident claims to the evidence.